back at it again. And look at that.
There we go. Looks like we're...
And look at that. We are being professional. We're on mother flipping time today. Run time today, man.
And you said you didn't have access to Facebook, or do you?
Not the new one, but
Okay.
the one that's connected onto on the Streamlabs. That's the one that goes to the old one. So, so if anybody's, I don't know.
Oh, Ghost Claw Productions.
Yeah. Yeah. Not on Ghost Claw Entertainment, on the Ghost Claw production one. Yeah. North Thomas is still under the weather. We're not sure yet about if he's going to be able to do Sound of Coffee or not. So, still waiting to hear back about that. So, don't know.
Yeah, we'll give kind of a generalized update.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Not a
We
problem.
still got 3 minutes. So we're live on the Raja.
We're live on the Raja.
I was always told I had a voice for radio.
I used to hear that too when I worked in customer service. Where's the comment section?
Haha, comment section is up and running, James. Yeah, we hope Thomas feels better soon. So, Nara, yeah, get him some of that tussin. Get some tussin in him.
See comments on YouTube.
Get that tussin in him.
I can't even see the comment section on YouTube. Why can I not see the comment section? That's weird.
I don't know what to tell you on that one.
You're the angry IT nerd.
Yes, but I'm not God. I mean, I'm a God, but I'm not like the God. But I mean, I'm like
minor god.
right?
The god of what though?
The God of my house. That's about it.
Technology.
Your dog, definitely.
See,
Where the
I am
hell-
well aware of where I stand in my house's pecking order.
Microsoft, why you do this? Microsoft updated.
Very strange. Why the comments are like below it now. That's weird. It's not beside it.
I can't see
YouTube.
anything.
We're streaming to like so many million different places. Like sometimes I struggle to
yeah.
keep up with all of it.
The only one that's a real pain in the ass to stream to is Instagram.
Really? I figured
Yeah.
TikTok would be up there.
TikTok's just a pain in the ass, just simply because of just random times when just getting hit with a CGV for harassment and bullying. It's like,
I've been
What?
hit with nudity before, like fully clothed. I swear, I was fully clothed.
Thomas has been
Yeah,
hit
well,
with that one
I've got
too.
I've got a story about that one too. But we are 9 o'clock. Is everybody ready? Good to go? Thumbs
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. This is the Villain's View for Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. In the rotation of our hosting on this show, it is my turn tonight, so you're stuck with me. Unfortunately, Thomas the Villain Bishop was not able to join us tonight. He has been under the weather for a few days, so we're hoping he gets some rest. Maybe he'll watch, comment. Who knows, but hopefully he's resting. Otherwise, I am joined with the regular villainous crew as we broadcast live on gcpr.live, at Ghost Claw Productions Radio over on YouTube. On Facebook tonight, we are broadcasting on Ghost Claw Productions, not Ghost Claw Entertainment. We don't have access to that one. You can find us on TikTok as well. To go around and introduce everybody, Angry, my co-host on other shows on this network. it feels redundant to ask you how you're doing since I just saw you and did a show with you like a few hours ago. But how's it hanging, brother?
Oh, it's hanging down and slightly to the left. Ha!
Say that.
I'm doing great. Feeling good. In between a break, I did a little bit of yoga, and it felt good to realign my chakras and shit. So
This lung realigning of chakras. Using
that
your
too.
lungs.
That too.
Inhaling the spirit of the universe.
Of course.
Holding it for a minute and then exhaling the spirit
becoming
of the
one.
universe.
Becoming one with the earth, so to speak. You know what I mean? Had to, have my yoga, have my breathing treatment,
Practicing
then
forestry.
absolutely, and I'm feeling great.
Good. That's awesome.
Just make sure that you're very specific with the whole one with the earth thing, because otherwise you might end up with me, Terra Earth. I'm just saying, be specific in your intention.
I am one with the bountiful of plants that emerge of the earth.
There you go.
And the other member of the villainous crew, General Gambit. I'm not going to go through Thomas's whole beard-loving spiel. We all know you have the best beard in the guild. How's it going tonight?
Well, unlike Angry, it is not going well, but I'm in high spirits. I too am in high spirits. So I'm okay. So there's that.
Yeah, and to quote Techno George over in the YouTube chat, a skydiver without a parachute also becomes one with the earth.
That too.
And tonight we're joined by our special guest, my friend and mutual from, well, not just TikTok. I think a few other places we're friends around the web on various social media. Her name is Terra. Goes by Terraforming over on TikTok, which I positively love. I have no small love for puns, as you can see by my own username. I am also a fan. So Terraforming and Trans Gretchen, the two best trans women with all the puns. We're coming at you tonight. Thank you for coming on the show. How the hell are you?
I am doing splendid. I'm not going to do as a trans woman, I'm not going to do the hanging joke. But I'm good. We're going to leave a little mystery. We'll leave a little mystery there.
Fair enough. I just like to throw them off sometimes. But yeah, again, we don't know if Thomas is going to be on Sound of Coffee tomorrow. If he's not, I do believe they are planning a replacement, so his show will be hosted. We'll have to see how that plays out. But I mean, we're talking like between this and Sound of Coffee, it's like two flagship shows of the network right now, right?
Correct.
So certainly hope Thomas is resting up. So one thing I wanted to jump right into with Terra, something you dealt with back on TikTok a while back. I don't know if it was 6 months or a year, and I've seen this with other trans people, be they trans men, trans women, whatever, but you got a lot of shit for a video that you did about using a single occupancy bathroom.
Yeah. It was actually a pretty big to-do because I was stalked out of that bathroom, stalked to another parking lot, another business, and confronted. The guy had rolled up with his vehicle, and I thought he was asking for directions or something. I had no idea what was going on. And as soon as he started in, which I mean, I'll get into all that in a bit, but it just escalated very quickly.
Yeah, and then you made a video about it.
Yes.
And the amount of people that responded to you, I know you had a couple that were particularly aggressive, but it just amazes me. Like, if only one person can use the restroom, it has a lock, and it doesn't matter at that point what sign is on the door.
No, No, and that was kind of my point with that. So my first video that I did on it, because there's actually two that kind of circulated around the same thing. One involved the actual incident, and the other involved another trans creator that is more on the right. That was I don't know if you remember that whole thing, but anyway, it was kind of responding to that and then explaining the situation and what happened. But essentially, I was at a gas station bathroom, as Gretchen said, single occupant, one person in, one person out. And I was just doing my business, just minding my own business. And whenever I left, a local guy who I later found out had followed me on online spaces for a year at that point. And I'd had an interaction with them online on Facebook, and I didn't even realize it. But anyway, he followed me over to a Walmart parking lot where I was working and doing delivery work, and it was he started cussing at me and throwing slurs, homophobic slurs, and I said, "Hey, hold on, let me pull out my phone," and he was like, "Yeah, do it." Like, he was so sure that he was not going to get in any type of conflict or trouble or anything like that. Like, he was proud in his bigotry. And
They usually are.
yep. And so all this that went down, captured him using the F slur. Yeah, it was just a bad go. Really upset me, really scared the crap out of me. And eventually went to the cops over it, and he had his day in court. But where the big video came out of it, I think it was up to almost 500,000 views, somewhere around that, was the one where I did a response to Eden and shared my story on that whole situation. And the whole reason why I shared that is to point out that whenever it comes down to their policing single occupant bathrooms, the plot's been lost. It's no longer a thing of, oh, we need to protect this, protect that. You just find me icky, and you don't want me in spaces where you can occupy. That's all it comes down to. I think
that factor is what I call it. Yeah, the ick factor.
The ick factor. And it's like, I can't account for their taste. I'm fucking gorgeous, and I can't help that they don't have any taste for that. But to each their own.
And these are the same people that after that, making that spectacle, are going to go home, open up their favorite adult spicy website, and start typing SHEMALE and get themselves off to their favorite flavor. I mean,
if they weren't searching me by name.
Yeah, M2F is their favorite searching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, and I'm sure. I mean, I've never looked at views. So, just to protect my name, I opened an OnlyFans under the name Trans Gretchen. You can go there. There is a profile picture of just nothing spicy, but there's no content. Don't sign up. There's no subscriptions. It was so that nobody. It was so that nobody would go and
actively warding people away.
He said, "Look, he said, I got it. Don't."
I'm not sure that Gretchen has fully grasped the concept of.
So look here.
But
it's a bold strategy.
So look, listen. I applaud you.
To go on there and take.
I'm just saying.
Around here somehow.
It's not a bad idea, and OnlyFans is not just for porn. It's mostly for porn, but it's not just for porn.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying is that
the porn does do much better.
Just telling everybody here to not do that. That's only encouraging people to do that.
Oh yeah.
Do not go to OnlyFans. Do not go to OnlyFans and do not sign up for my $99 a month subscription. Do not. Whatever you do,
wink,
do not. 99 per week, yes. Yes. Do not do that.
Those are rookie numbers.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's back to kind of like what we were saying, though. It's wild to me how many people quickly went from, we have to protect the children and we have to blah, blah, blah to, hey, maybe you should be segregated. It's like, y'all are just jumping straight in.
That's the one that really gets me, especially with sports. Here's the one that really gets me is they give them their own league. You're talking about a demographic of people that does not even compromise 1% of the population.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely infeasible. Like, how many people are we going like that? That's ridiculous.
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
For point one is that, and again, let's face it, separate but equal has never gone well for this fucking country.
No, at all.
Again,
It said it's never been.
Again, we've learned from experience.
The only thing that they've learned is to try it with a different group. Like, they're just trying, they're going down the list. It's the same playbook. The same playbook over and over and over again.
Dialogue.
So it's almost like they're just throwing darts at a dartboard to see which one.
Or picking the smallest group. Picking a group with the least amount of power that can't fight back.
Not only that, the least amount of knowledge about. I mean, even as a trans person, I didn't know anything about being trans. I didn't know anything about who I was or what that meant. It's a learning process, and a lot of it is being kind of uncovered as we're progressing. That's what they prey upon.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I've said that before multiple times. You know, I grew up having these feelings for as long as I can remember, but the word transgender did not exist in my youth. It did not exist in my world. I didn't even know what it was until I was well into my mid to late 20s to have any concept of it. I just thought, hey, since puberty, I was bisexual. I liked boys and girls. So because I was what I perceived to be a boy who liked boys, I thought, well, naturally I should have some feminine qualities or thoughts. I just kind of wrote it off that way. It wasn't until much later when I realized, hey, that's a lot deeper than just who turns me on. They think it's all about who turns us on.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Their head is in the bed.
Yeah, because that's always where it is. I mean, one conversation I had once with somebody, I don't remember if it was a good conversation or bad, but like essentially it was just basically like, what were the first steps that I took when I started transitioning? And even before therapy and hormones and stuff like that, it was social transitioning to a degree. The first article of clothing that I started to wear, obviously, was women's underwear, but I didn't do it for a sexual purpose. I did it because it's the one thing I could do that gave me a little bit of affirmation that nobody else could see, and I could do it safely, privately, and nobody would know. I didn't walk around thinking, oh, I feel so sexy because I'm wearing it. No, I mean, yes, women have better underwear. It's made of better material. It feels better, but I mean, that's just, who wants to wear whitey tighties for the rest of your lives? I mean, really finish yourselves.
I had a dysphoria pair, a pair of specially designed where there's padding that smooths everything out, and that was my first pair. It was and it's like you said, there wasn't a lick about it that was sexual in any way, shape, or form. It was all, hey, this actually makes me feel good in my body. This makes me feel a little bit better about what, how I'm presenting. And that was it.
I think about it as like a kid. When I was a kid, underoos were a big thing. I loved wearing underoos. It made me feel awesome. There was nothing sexual about it. It made me feel like fucking Spider-Man. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
Because I had the Spider-Man underwear and the t-shirt that went with it, and you're like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. And mom's like, cool, Spider-Man, go to bed.
Yep. I can't tell you how happy I was when Spider-Gwen became a thing.
Right.
It's like, yay.
But yeah, it's just the playbook, and it blows my mind sometimes. Going back to the sports thing, like they're writing all these state bills. They're about to do it. They've already Trump has signed an executive order. They're working a bill through Congress right now to do essentially the same thing because they need to ban all 7 trans people in sport across the United States from.
Well, and that's the kicker, though. That's where people are not catching on to what the play is, because like you go back to the recent, um, declaration that Trump made that everyone is the sex that they were born as, right? Which, yes, logically means that we're all female. Sorry,
Yeah,
fellas.
because sex at conception.
You'll hear
Sex
no
at conception.
argument
Yes.
from me.
At conception, yes.
Sex at conception. So, the
Cool. I
thing
have even more reason to celebrate Pride this year.
There you go. There you go. But the thing is, is it wasn't like the real danger in that, which obviously it is dangerous and targeted to trans people on the surface. But what it declares is that life begins at conception, and that opens the door for them to limit, people with uteruses and limit, all kinds of do a ban on abortion just countrywide. So that's what people are catching on to.
A lot of conservative women don't realize that too. When they may be thinking, "Well, I'm pro-life, so I want to vote against all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm voting conservative." But you don't realize how it's going to affect you down the road as a cisgender woman. Beyond just abortion, it's going to affect your rights. I mean, they're already talking about Matt Walsh the other day. I saw this, and he basically compared women to children, and said that we as women, and yes, I say we, because trans women are women, don't possess the intellectual, maturity to be given the right to vote. And that's something that's been on their playbook for a while. A lot of the hardcore conservative white men want to get rid of the ability for women to vote.
Whenever like they talk about how half the country voted for this and we're the majority and blah 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 blah, what I always go to, my argument to that is, if you have to suppress votes in order to be the majority, you're not the majority. You're not winning. You're again stacking the game, making the game up as you go, and putting it in your favor, but you're not the majority.
Well, yeah, they know they're not. It's the same people that are still going online and posting maps of the United States, and they're like, "Look at all this red. This is how we won." And no matter how many times you tell them land doesn't vote,
Yeah,
they just don't get it.
Right.
All these little blue spaces, like that's where all the people are.
that's because they treat politics like a fucking football game.
I had a guy say something like, okay. So there was a post on Facebook that said something about they haven't even accounted for some votes, and somebody posted the land doesn't vote mean that, and some idiot guy commented to them and said that this map doesn't take into account the states where he won. And I said, this map is a map of all the states, my friend. And he comes to my page, leaves like 3 memes that are basically just saying you lost, and then blocks.
Yeah. We call that the neener approach.
I'm like, you have no logical counter argument, so that is your
that's your that's your thing.
Neener.
So
Yep.
that's your thing.
I went back to the original post and said, hey, this guy did this, and everybody's like cheering me because they said, "Oh, he did that to me too." I wonder if he'll accept my friend request.
I said something too on my other show, Peak Trans, that's on Thursdays. That it also mirrored something that Thomas said on Sound of Coffee the other day. It's like, we just had different words but meant the same thing. Like I said we are now in the era of nuh-uh, where Thomas was like, we're in the era of which is basically like you can throw platters of evidence at these people, and they just their defense is nuh-uh. I mean, like, there's
like, no I didn't do it.
You can't convince them. Right. I call it the Shaggy defense. It wasn't me.
Yeah. Right.
So did you do it? I didn't do it.
What my version of that is, it's like playing chess with a pigeon. It doesn't matter how well you play. They're just going to shit on the board and claim they won and just walk away.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. That pigeon is shitting on the board.
Yep, it's shitting on the board and going to strut like it won.
Oh, it's just, it's so depressing that it's, you have to laugh at it.
You might actually have a more well-constructed argument with a pigeon.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure their vocabulary
Absolutely
is better. I'd be willing to bet that a pigeon knows the difference between your, as in Y-O-U-R, possessive, and Y-O-U-R. So I'm just saying, I mean, if any conservatives are watching tonight, yes, you are stupider or less intelligent than a pigeon. At least in my mind. I mean, we can teach apes sign language. And that's more than we can teach you.
Just no, the conservatives signed out after you said that you had an OnlyFans page. They went straight there.
So you know that's right. Yeah.
I got to get.
And then now, so now you're going to get flooded.
$99 a week subscription setup. I don't know what I don't know if I'm going to do any pictures for you, but hey, if you would like to be insulted in a strongly worded letter with colorful metaphors by a trans woman, I'm happy to do that.
That's my kink.
Yeah, like, where are my pay pigs at? Where are my pay pigs at? Come on, I will.
And if you ask nicely, she may draw a picture for you while she's insulting you.
I might draw a picture. I can draw a nice picture. Yeah.
She is a very talented artist.
I mean,
she could
a niche for that. I'm just saying that niche exists.
I mean, she could.
Oh, I know.
Probably.
Yeah. It's
if you
doms or financial domination.
Yeah. If you ask her, she could probably draw a picture of her pegging you. If you ask nicely enough. Yeah.
That's what you want. I mean.
She could draw that picture. But hey.
I'll just draw a picture of my fans. Like, I'll draw a pic. Like, if you're one of the people that signs up, I'll draw a picture of you on your hands and knees, me holding your leash. You can have a little plastic pig nose on with the little string around your neck, around your ear.
See, that's a deal. That's a deal.
She was going to draw pictures of her fans, and I was like, "You're just going to draw like a bunch of box fans."
I could do like live videos. I could do live videos. Fans. I could do live videos with my fans and be like, "Hey, do you want to recreate that scene from Christmas Story? Who's my little piggy? Who's my little piggy? Do it for me, my little piggy."
Remind me what that OnlyFans address is again.
It's my name.
Said do not.
It's right there on the Zoom screen.
Said do not go there and do not sign up for the $99 plan.
Do not sign up for the $99 plan under the name Trans Gretchen. Do not do it. Do not.
There's at least one conservative person that is saying, I really want to.
I gotta get a tier plan.
So there's a
jeez, God, what am I?
There's a conservative that's going there and said, "You son of a bitch told me that there's gonna be a." I ain't got no goddamn pictures of here, no transgression.
You're desperate. I can get you a strongly worded letter tonight for the low price of $1,000 to Cash App $transgretchen and your email address.
Hey, I'll do one better.
That's a deal.
I'll just talk to you in this really nice, deep voice and tell you how much of a little piggy boy you are. How about that?
I'll give you the sweetest, sexiest radio voice. I love my little piggies. I love it when they stuff my pockets, and you love it when I stuff you, right?
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Ching, 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 ching. I see dollar signs flashing before my eyes.
Say,
I mean,
you just
I
get a
am
couple
moving.
notifications from
I am moving to Massachusetts in May, and it is not going to be cheap. So, I mean, hey, all you little piggies out there that want to help me pay for my trip,
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You have enough to buy
this move.
See, they'll be giving you so much money, you'll have enough to buy a house outright.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Yeah. I'm just going to walk next door to the woman I'm moving in with. I'm just going to walk next door to her neighbors and be like, "Hi, I'm buying your house today." I'm going to pull a Christian Bale from like Batman Begins. Like, I'm buying this hotel. Okay.
Right?
That movie, the Dark Knight, has been such a good source of memes for like everything going on right now. Like the whole some men just want to watch the world burn. That applies to so many conservative people right now that are like moving the goalposts. It's like what was that? The girl that was the woman that was talking about how I don't give a fuck about eggs. I don't care about egg prices.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, I did see that one.
You don't give a shit. You just want to watch it all burn.
Well, I guess.
1 second, I'm logging in. I'm logging into my OnlyFans. I haven't been here in a while.
I want to watch it all burn, but it's a different burn.
I want to see. I want to see something grow from the pile.
I want a phoenix to rise out of the ashes, but
yes,
I'm.
Here's one that you want that phoenix.
Remember,
you want that phoenix to be
blaze of glory.
Say you want that phoenix to be a little bit of a
phoenix to rise.
You want that phoenix to be a little bit greenish.
Hey, I may be lighting a blunt off the glory, but hey,
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Here nor there.
Or you could take Techno George's suggestion. You could light that blunt off a burning swastika.
Yeah, you could do that too.
I would. I don't even like s'mores, April, and I would make s'mores over a burning swastika. So yeah, that's got to be saying something. But I mean, I swear,
yes.
Like I was saying, I mean, it's so depressing right now that like all I can do is laugh half the time, because if I didn't, I would just be the despair. Every day, it's like you wake up, I said this the other day, I jump into my trans agenda, I go to the bathroom and I pee.
Right.
I start some coffee, I take my dog out, I log into work.
So just every day.
Today I converted 3 youth to the trans side.
Right?
3,
yeah.
Those are rookie numbers.
Right.
I mean, 3?
I was just getting started.
You gotta get those numbers up, kid.
That was an off day.
We're coming for the kids.
You gotta get those numbers up.
We're coming for we gotta protect the kids. And as I'm fond of saying, I said it in pre-show, I can barely tolerate my own. What makes you think I want anything to do with yours?
Right? Fuck them kids.
I can't tolerate kids enough that I've never had.
Hold up. You're saying fuck them kids. Be careful, because you're going to be on the same team as a Baptist preacher. So be careful with that.
Metaphorically, fuck them kids.
Tone the line.
Metaphorically, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Same processes, different resumes.
Oh wow, yeah. So, but yeah, and I think even someone else said it too. They don't care about kids. They don't.
No, not at all. It's never been about kids.
It's the same reason why they campaigned for the unborn. It's a convenient group that cannot speak for themselves, cannot defend themselves in any way, shape, or form. And they can just turn to that entity and use it to push whatever bullshit they want to push.
Yep, absolutely. And their I think their logic behind it is, well, if we say we protect the kids, who's going to fight us against that? No, and anyone who stood up against protecting kids is just evil. At least that's what they think they can convince their
Yeah, I mean, if we use the kids, and I mean, they're not going to say anything bad about that because who would want to do something to kids?
Anybody that is against protecting kids
It worked in 19...
wants to touch kids or violate kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not that we're trying to protect or, nurture them in a different manner.
When they say don't like to trans people, when they're saying don't indoctrinate children, what they really mean is don't talk to them before we have a chance to indoctrinate them. Don't teach them before we can feed them our bullshit. We don't want that.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't want a false narrative to be put in their heads before we tell them the truth.
Well, the thing is, they know what the definition of woke is. It's the same logic that they used when the term a few years back was social justice warrior.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say those words out loud and think it's a bad thing. Who would not want to be a warrior for social justice? Why would you not? But if they turn it into an insult, then they're like, well, we can teach our kids to hate before you wake them up, because we don't want them woken up. Yeah. They protect kids from conception to birth, but after that, like George was saying, then we want to get them in the coal mines. We're seeing them reverse child labor laws across the board.
Who was it?
Marriage law,
right?
Yeah. Who was it? Because I know in the picture
protect
where the kids were miserable,
but let's let them get married at 12.
Yeah, or let them get chopped up in a machine at a factory because they can work for cheap labor.
Or they're the ones. They're the ones tiny. They're small enough to fit in. Have like tiny hands to be able to do. Like little small shit like that. But.
Yeah.
Like in the movie, what's the movie? Snowpiercer. Like in Snowpiercer.
I haven't seen Snowpiercer. Is that a scary movie? Is that a scary movie reference?
Yes.
Angry the movie reference, and he's got it.
See, here's the thing.
Strong hand, child.
This is
that's my strong hand. No, Snowpiercer is a movie where it's an apocalyptic kind of movie where the whole world is frozen over and the only thing that's going is this train. It made into a series, yeah. It started out as a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but essentially it's this train that's going just around the globe. And that's the last bit of humanity that's left because everything is just frozen over. And the train is ran. Yeah, it had Chris Evans in it. Yep.
In the movie version.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that movie, but Chris Evans is so sexy. So I might have to watch that.
Yes.
But see, and the train. But see, the engine is ran by little kids. So anytime anybody would have a kid, they would get a free. They would get the Willy Wonka golden ticket, but it'd be as an engine.
I just remember seeing a commercial for the series, and it was like they were saying this is the 4th and final season of it, and I'm like, oh look, Sean Bean's in it. He probably joined in the 4th season, right? There's no way he lasted all 4 seasons. There's no way.
He probably showed up halfway in the 4th season.
Dying in movies and TV shows.
Everything he dies in.
One does not simply live through an entire movie. They don't.
So, no.
Exactly. The only one he did that I know of is National Treasure, the first one. He ended up getting arrested and going to federal prison. I mean,
I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in the first National Treasure.
Yeah, he can't be a good guy. And if he is a good guy, he's definitely dead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think it was what was the one that I was watching? It was a medieval movie. Oh, it was horrible. The way he died was horrible. I can't remember which one it was.
Wasn't he like drawn and quartered or something?
Yeah, yeah. It was called. Was
Mhm.
it Black Death or Black Death? 2010.
Yes.
Black Death. Yeah, drawn
Wait.
and quartered. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Was that him?
Mhm.
Because I know Nick Cage played in a similar movie with the plague and all that, and it was like The Witch or something. Like, I don't know. It was something about a witch and witchcraft and the plague and everything going on, and he was like a Templar. It had it had the guy who played in the original Hellboy movie as Hellboy.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman?
Ron Perlman.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's a badass too. I love Ron.
Oh man, I love Ron Perlman. I remember Ron Perlman back from the day. Like my mom didn't know I was watching because I was still pretending to be a boy. I had to play off like I don't watch this stuff. But like she'd be watching Beauty and the Beast with what's her name? Terminator.
Yes.
Linda Hamilton.
And
No.
Linda Hamilton, thank you.
Yeah, Linda Hamilton.
It was
yeah.
Linda Hamilton. And I'd be sitting there in the living room, like pouting, like I don't want to be watching this, but I'm like secretly watching it. Like I love this show. I love the show. I love the show. Like it was a very girly show.
Yeah. I love that show.
James, I need to address James in the YouTube chat. You say that he lived in Silent Hill, but did he? Because he went to Silent Hill to find his wife, and nobody lives in Silent Hill, right?
True.
So,
Why?
I think it's
He was in the
insinuated.
original-
Yeah.
No, I think he made it to the second movie, didn't he? And then he died.
Did he?
I think he was like found dead in the first act of the second movie, because that's why like she kind of went off on her own.
Well, then he still dies in Silent Hill, technically. Maybe not the first movie, but he did die eventually, right?
Oh, they fixed their mistake, I'm sure.
They're like, they finished the first movie. They're like, well,
We
gonna do
forgot
a sequel. We forgot something. What's that? Sean Bean is alive.
Wait, hold up. Hold up.
we
No,
can't
no,
have
wait.
that.
We gotta go back to the script. Hold up. Wait a minute. Sean Bean's got to die in this one. We need to send this back up to a rewrite. Sean Bean needs to die. We need a death scene.
Alive? Impossible.
Is it alive?
Yeah,
Alive?
there's a lot of good deaths with him. He's notorious for that. So
I think my favorite's probably the satellite crashing on him in
Goldeneye.
Goldeneye. Yeah, that was easily one of my favorite movies.
That was definitely a rebirth of of a newer James Bond era, from like a
For sure.
passing of the torch almost from like Sean Connery, Roger Moore, even Timothy Dalton to a degree.
Mhm.
You know, he was only a two-shotter anyway. So
But then Daniel Craig. Oh, Daniel Craig, when he took over Bond. Talk about a rebirth there.
Well, yeah, I mean, his very first movie, he's doing it's like you got this parkour chase through like buildings and beating down cars and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like wow,
Mhm.
okay, I've never seen James Bond do that before. He's like wearing like leisure clothes and and leaping through open car windows and stuff. Like, hey, that's not the Bond that we knew. So
I bet you that y'all did not realize that this podcast was going to be me and Gretchen just fawning over hot movie stars.
Worse has happened.
Always possible.
worse is
Well, it happens. I mean,
and you also have a bunch of nerds here too. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
I mean-
I figured I would.
Jay-
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not new.
Jay
It's,
Thomas in the TikTok chat said Pierce Brosnan was better.
yeah, Pierce Brosnan was better.
See,
I can see.
I
the
don't.
argument
He was
being
in
made.
what? He was in 4, right?
I believe
4 of
so.
them. Goldeneye,
GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never
It
Dies.
Die Another Day,
See,
that
like-
one.
And The World Is Not
Mm,
Enough, right?
Yeah.
The World Is Not
Yeah.
World is not enough. Yeah.
Goldeneye, in my opinion, is the only one that's good out of those 4 movies.
I can agree with that. And the Daniel Craig movies are so tonally different than all of the other ones. And you cannot convince me that he did not have
It's
these.
like,
No, I did like the Daniel Craig ones.
Well,
Just simply because it was they went a whole different route
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Bond. Yeah.
yeah.
And Skyfall is, in my opinion, the singularly best Bond film, and I will fight you over that one.
The Pierce
Skyfall was amazing.
The Pierce Brosnan ones were like trying to stay true to the character, like from the Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton era.
Hey, you got,
Well, I was trying to get back to.
tall, dark, and handsome spy. Pierce Brosnan looked good in a tux. I mean, no one's arguing that. But
And then
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Well, at the time when he took over, it was Timothy Dalton, and Timothy Dalton wasn't really that very popular as a Bond.
no,
So then when Pierce Brosnan came along, then it was like, oh, this is the Bond that that we're kind of accustomed to, getting back to like the Sean Connery
yeah,
of being, the
right? Yeah.
Like that,
Timothy
yeah.
Dalton only did 2. One of them was Licensed to Kill. I don't know what.
The other one was
On Her
like
Majesty's Secret
Thunder.
Service, wasn't it?
Mm.
No, that was.
I thought wasn't it the
that was an old one.
I thought it was the man
Living
with the golden.
Daylights.
Oh,
The Living Daylights was the other one that Timothy
Mhm.
Dalton did. So, and those
Yeah.
are the only 2 that he did. There it does say here that Reunion with Death was a planned Bond film that would have starred Dalton as his third round as Bond, but it was canceled. So they never.
Yeah, he bombed
Mhm.
out pretty bad.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, they tried to do a
but
darker
Craig-
version of Bond, and it
Craig
didn't
felt
click
more
with
like
the hardcore fans.
more like, hey, now things like Jason Bourne exist, so we have to kind of adapt the character.
That's
That's
true.
where,
Yeah,
that's where Daniel
yeah.
Craig's Bond came from. I think
Yeah.
Was from
the
that,
offspring of
yeah.
what we saw from Jason Bourne.
Yeah, we have to adapt the character to fit this more. The best thing I can come up with is exciting, more action.
Well, what they did is
Yeah.
they took out the camp. They took the
Yeah.
camp out of the
Yeah.
movie.
He was still cheeky though.
Yeah, no,
Like
he,
with-
he-
with-
Yeah, I mean, he had the. I mean, he still had the
Swag.
the wit, yeah.
the swagger, the wit, the kind of the one-liner every now and again, but it wasn't like how it was with like Roger Dalton, Moore, anything like that, where they would just kind of the quips and another quip and another quip and another quip.
Yep.
Timothy Dalton wasn't really cheeky or anything like that. Like I said, they went over the really darker tone.
Yeah,
I mean, in
Mhm.
License to
That
Kill,
was-
he
that
was
was more-
essentially stripped of his license to kill.
that was
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
more. That was more Connery and Moore,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a little bit Bron or Brosnan, but not nearly as much as Moore and Connery.
No, they did, but
Right.
they took out they took a lot of the charm away in Dalton's version. I think he was more business only. Yeah, he had his. I mean, come on. I mean, James Bond does not go through a movie without having sex with at least one woman. At least one.
That
Mhm.
that has a very very odd name. That has a very
Very like a double entendre sexual innuendo name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pussy galore. That-
Absolutely.
Octopussy.
That's
just a random woman called Slipper In. I you're getting the business, aren't you? Yeah, we already know.
Yep.
Or even like the
I don't remember that much being in the Daniel Craig movies, but now I'm wondering. See, the Daniel Craig movies were towing the line of homoerotic. Like a lot of the villains were very, very like, Bond. Let's
They
see.
had effeminate qualities.
Yeah,
Yes.
they did.
Silva, I believe, was the name of the villain in Skyfall. I believe. Anyway, but
When I
he
don't
was
know, I
very
consult the article. Yeah, played by Javier Bardem.
yes, perfect, pitch
Mm-hmm.
perfect performance.
Did you say the article or the oracle?
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
That's what I call Google or any internet search. I shall consult the article.
Give me the answer.
My little flashback to never.
She's consulting the article of the article of Oracle.
Oracle, by the way, is Batgirl from Batman.
Yeah.
Barbara Gordon. I like the Oracle stories.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Birds of Prey. When that came out, that TV show did. I mean, I love Dina Meyer, and I think she was fantastic as Oracle in that show. But I didn't think the show. I mean, it didn't last but a season, right?
Yeah,
one season.
I
yep.
kind of like when the whole DC CW block, all that was going on. I only watched like part of Arrow until I figured out the lead actor was kind of a douche, and then I watched The Flash. Those are the only like DC shows I watch. Like Birds of Prey.
Everybody loves Grant Gustin.
Yes, Grant Gustin's amazing. I was very disappointed in like Steve something. I can't remember his name from Arrow.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell, yeah.
And speaking of flashes, there's another one that's very problematic. Thank you, Miller, for fucking up shit for us and the trans community and making us look bad.
No kidding.
Thank you for that.
Can we talk for a second the privilege of individuality? Because
absolutely.
Oh my God. Anytime that any trans person, and I know this is any marginalized community, but right now the trans community, it's a hot topic. Anytime a trans person does something bad, it is immediately applied to the entire group. Whereas if a cishet white man does something bad, he was a lone actor. It was he was just really sick. He was just really sick. He had a bad day. He stubbed his toe, actually. And that justified him killing 300 people. You know, we can't judge him.
Listen, somebody's pissed in his weed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were out of the brand of protein shake.
Completely relatable. But as long as he wasn't trans.
It's perfectly acceptable for him to kill and maim those.
Matter of fact, they made
another whole side of that. It's the same thing you see when a white man commits a crime that's horrendous and then he dies or something. Or if he was an asshole in life and he dies, we commemorate him by saying he was loved by all these people. He had all these children. He did these wonderful things in life. A black man, let's say, I don't know, George Floyd, for example, is murdered on live TV. But we're like, he had a counterfeit 20 in his pocket. I think he did. I think he did drugs once. So
It
has nothing to do with him being murdered in the streets. And even if he had a 20 that was counterfeit, or even if he was high as a kite, that is not a death sentence.
It's amazing how the rap sheet only matters when you're not part of the majority.
Yep. Nobody sat down and said, George Floyd had a family. There were people that loved him. He had children. He's going to be missed by these people and those people. They're like, no, that dirty drug dealing, counterfeit money using, degenerate. They want to say it. I'm not even going to say it as an example because I detest that word. But I mean, they want to say it. They want to say it so bad. They want to say it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I mean, they even made a movie about the mediocre white guy having a bad day in the 90s. It was called Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh God! Of course.
Anybody remember that movie? Anybody see that movie?
I don't
know that I've ever seen it.
In the
Now-
90s, I was still watching Ninja Turtles. So,
Oh,
I mean,
Gambit,
I
I'm
do.
assuming that you're laughing because you've seen this movie. If not, anybody has not seen this movie, let me paint the picture of this movie for you. So this one day, this mediocre white man going to work, played by Michael Douglas. How's he look? You know, again, mediocre white guy, glasses, white shirt, black tie, black slacks.
He looks like a nerd. He looks like the '90s version of what people would identify as a nerd.
Yes, basically the kind of guy that would fix your copier.
Crew cut.
That he would be there to fix your copier, fix your printer, you know, that kind of guy. So one day, going to work, all of a sudden in the middle of traffic, he gets out, grabs a gun, and just starts shooting everybody.
and he just started blasting.
So
He's walking down the street, don't know exactly where he's going. I think he was going home, but on the way, he was just shooting everything and everybody that was there.
Oh no!
And that
I've
was the
never
movie.
heard of this.
And that was the movie, and they determined that, you know, they talked to his wife, and the wife said, you know, he was going to work, and find out that he had not worked in like months. He was looking for a job, and everybody kept giving him the runaround, and he got tired, and he was pissed, and he just said, you know, I'm tired of this, and I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. And he just started shooting.
You know, I think I've heard of that movie now. I'm pretty sure they're using it as a training manual for all right-wing extremists.
Probably that and Fight Club.
Like it's a training video now.
Could be. I wouldn't have seen it at the time it came out. I mean, I graduated in '92, '93. I was working full time and partying when I wasn't working. So I mean, if I wasn't high or drunk, I was slaving at my shitty job. I'm pretty sure I was delivering pizzas or something.
I was 11.
92, I was 6. So
92 hours.
I said 92. God.
So in Terra's defense, yes, if I were her age in 1992, 93, I too would have been watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was 13.
Let's be very clear here. I watch them now.
Hey.
Right?
Let's not mince words. I don't want to misrepresent who I am.
I will not. And just to be clear,
essentially, what you're saying is, Tara, Tara, you watched them then, and you still watch them now.
Yes.
But you just want everybody to know that you used to watch them then too.
Yes. I have maintained my turtle phone the whole time.
And
My
I'm
shell phone
wondering
the whole time.
Turtle phone.
I mean, Tara's takes on, the socio-political hellscape that we're living in are fabulous. But now I'm questioning myself, like, do we have her on the wrong show? Because on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern time for 2 hours, Gilbert and I host a show called The Rules of Nerdquisition, where we talk Trek and all other nerddoms. Last week's whole show, I wasn't on last week because I had to. I went to my granddaughter's birthday party, my daughter was here, and we had some issues. But regardless, Thomas came on as a guest, and Gilbert took over for my absence, and the whole show was dedicated to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, provided Thomas is breaking in with his He-Man rants.
Right? Yeah. So again, I think we need to. I
don't know how I feel about missing that.
Well, here's the thing. What I think we should do is just do a Rules and Nerdquisition episode, a He-Man episode. Let Thomas go on and just let him just get all of his
He-Man issues out.
All of his He-Man issues out.
Well, at least there wasn't GoBots.
He may have to do another one for GoBots so he can get all that shit out too.
We have said this many times that, one of the things we hate about nerddoms and various fandoms is how people are so critical of what other people like. Like now, say in Star Wars, like, if you like the new Star Wars stuff that's coming out by Disney, you're hated by a whole subset of Star Wars fans that can't stand the new stuff. I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Enjoy what you like. If you love it, it makes you happy, then enjoy it. That being said, over my dead body will there ever be a GoBot show episode of the Rules and Inquisition? Sorry, Thomas. No, it's not happening.
I understand. You got issues with Rodimus Prime, and you don't think that, Rodimus Prime is better than Leader 1, but you know what? Rodimus Prime is way better than Leader 1, because you know why? Everybody knows who Rodimus Prime is. You know how many people know who Leader 1 is outside of me? You! That's it!
No. I know who Leader 1 is.
No, not
Leader 1. Leader 1.
Leader 1.
Leader 1. Okay.
From the GoBots.
He was the jet that turned into a robot.
And see,
I have no idea who Leader 1 is.
See, and again,
Leader 1, yeah, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole.
And again,
fandom.
Thomas, who the fuck knows who Leader 1 is? See, and again, because of the way I mispronounced Leader 1, see, Terra thought I said Alita. No, I said Leader. See?
And I was excited. But
see, because,
now,
and again,
I don't give a fuck about Leader 1.
See? Because nobody knows who the fuck Leader 1 is outside of me, Thomas. Nobody knows.
We've had multiple. We've talked about Transformers more than once. We will talk about Transformers again. We'll talk about Voltron, Thundercats. I mean, we talk.
See, we're going to talk about all that stuff again.
We haven't even done our anime episode yet, and that one's that's going to span multiple episodes because you can't discuss all of it in 2 hours.
Oh, of course not.
Please remember me when you do that. Please.
If you would love to come on.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely, I can talk some anime.
All right, fantastic. We'll talk about getting you on a future show for Rules and Inquisition. That being said, let me reset the show. It is almost the top of the hour. This is the Villains View. I almost said Rules and Inquisition. Maybe we've kind of hijacked the Villains View. But anyway, this is the Villains View for Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. I am Gretchen, joined by the regular crew, Gambit and Gilbert, and our special guest, Terra. Unfortunately, Thomas is out tonight. He is not feeling well. But as always, we're broadcasting on gcpr.live, streaming to YouTube over at Ghost Claw Productions Radio. Tonight on Facebook, we're on Ghost Claw Productions, not Ghost Claw Entertainment. We don't have access to that one. And are we still on the TikTok?
We're still on TikTok. Yeah. We have not
made it a whole hour.
We have not gotten kicked off.
Yeah, and we've been talking just about everything. I mean, we've gone from social, political issues, trans issues, women's issues.
We haven't gone full on. We got sidetracked. We haven't gone full on.
Oh yeah, we did get on the ADHD train for a bit. Yeah.
This is we said this on Rules today. This is a network that is run on caffeine and ADHD.
Yeah.
And THC.
A little bit of THC.
THC.
Right. I mean, those are
so what'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? Caffeine, THC, and ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're proud of that. We're proud of that.
As you should be.
As Thomas says, this network and this company in general, because Ghost Call Productions is incorporated now. We are Ghost Call Productions LLC. And DEIA is alive and well at this company. I mean, our motto is where every voice matters. So, I mean, we've got 20 shows right now. We've got trans women. We've got women voices. We've got black and brown people. We've got religious people even. We even have a couple of Christian shows on here. So, I mean, we're trying to cover the spectrum. I think we're doing all right.
Well, it's almost like you can't get a full picture of everything unless you have all the voices to comprise it.
I know. It's like, Jesus. It's like I bought a puzzle, and it was a 1,000-piece puzzle, but it only came with 3 pieces. Jeez, why can I not figure out what the picture is? That is a world without DEI.
Yeah, it's like the car Voltron, but it only has like the airplane and like one plane.
Right. Only one part.
It's like the
And
car
what did we figure
Voltron, but
out?
it only
What
has
was it,
one
like,
plane.
Was it 24 or 35 vehicles that make up the
24.
Voltron?
It's 24 vehicles, and it only has like 2 of them.
That's still what, 19 too many, because there's only 5 of the original.
Right.
Exactly.
I could remember those 5 names. Who drove the flying SUV that looked like a 1989 Chevy Astro? I don't fucking know.
Harry.
No, but the red lion.
That's a good enough name as any, Harry.
Right. See? But you know that.
I was
we know that.
wondering if he was actually serious and new, or if he was like
We didn't
random.
fucking know.
random
I could just
thing.
said like, you know,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Harry Harry D's nuts.
Is that right? I don't.
Right. And in
Yo,
the
hey,
flying
no,
station
his name
wagon
is,
that made up
Are you
half
gonna
of the
fact
left
check
elbow.
me?
That,
I was
that was
told there would be no fact check.
Said the
the
pilot's
flying
name.
station
His
wagon
pilot's
that made
name
up
was.
half the left elbow was piloted by Richard Trickle. You know, I mean,
It's like the pilot's name. His actual name was actually called Dietz Nuts. His nickname was Harry because he had a lot of hair. So
I mean, obviously,
Dietz Harry Nuts.
these.
right. I mean, you don't get more obvious nicknames and stuff like that than, like, you know, Chunk out of the Goonies. Like,
I mean, again,
Right.
let's
other
just
than
belittle
Bond
the
films-
person right from the bat.
Other
Yeah.
than Bond films.
Other than Bond films. Yeah.
Which I warned Gretchen prior, but I do think I'm going to have to dip out a little early. My toddler has tested their patience as long as they can.
I understand
Oh.
completely. But you know, as a parent, these two don't understand, but I understand. So absolutely. I definitely appreciate you popping on here, and you know that I will be in touch about the rules and requisition. We'll talk to you about
Absolutely.
some anime. So hit me up anytime. You've got my number, and I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
So much.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Take care. Thanks for
Hey,
stopping by.
Good night.
See,
that's
I,
my
I stole that from you. Ha ha.
Stole that from me.
I
You stole that from me. Where do we go from here? I wonder.
Where do we go now?
From
Ow, wow, wow, wow. Where do we go now?
Anybody? Another-
Chuckles in the
another nerddom? Come on.
manga reader
nerds.
over here.
Rules
just-
of Inquisition. Where are we at?
Chuckles is
Sir?
saying just started a cute romance on and off. Never heard of it. Workplace
Place
and
and
balance.
balance.
2 office coworkers accidentally
Oh!
bumped into each other while both
This
cosplay
is
cross-dressing.
kind of random.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, no, I actually said something to you guys in the chat about the Equalizer.
About the Equalizer.
Did you?
Did it? I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, I
It was a couple. It was a couple of maybe a week or so ago back.
Oh, okay, not tonight. I'm like,
oh,
come on. You're talking
I was about to say, come on, man, God damn,
change your
bruh,
name to Trans Goldfish. Like, come on, who are you talking to here?
bruh. You know, I'll be up here in the ISS with you. Come on, man.
No, it's Queen Latifah's show. It's a remake of an '80s show. And
Yeah.
it's the same name, but
Yeah,
they
Equalizer. Yeah,
they basically just gender swapped and race swapped her. But it's fucking amazing. Like, it touches basically the premise of the show is she is a former CIA agent and she sees an opportunity to help somebody without, kind of staying off the police grid, and she does, and she tries to work with the police, she tries to work with the CIA, but nothing really kind of sticks. But she kind of just helps normal people, and she's not getting paid or anything. She's just doing it to help. So and there's whole subplots and everything. I'm in season 4.
What is this called again?
The Equalizer. I think it's on Paramount, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it. I just haven't I've seen advertisements for it, but I haven't watched the show yet.
Promos for it because it's like a new season, and I thought it was like a new show, but turns out it's in season 5 now.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, before we get into that too deep, I just want to say I'm going to pull somebody else up here. Techno George, come on down.
George. Oh, George is in the building. George
is jumping in.
What?
I pulled a Drew Carey there. Come on down.
The next contestant on The Price is Right.
That's right. The price is wrong, depending on.
Welcome to the Villain's
everyone. Welcome
to the Villain's View, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Is that right?
The original Equalizer was in the 1980s. It starred Edward Woodward. And he was I believe he was an ex-CIA agent. He still had ties to the company, but he actually put an ad out in the paper in New York City, and he would just help people. But he had all these connections. He had all like these CIA connections and all this other stuff. It was really good. I mean,
same thing with this one. But she posted on like a Reddit or like a
right.
Well, I mean,
done
2020.
Like a bunch of different variations. You had the white guy who did newspaper ads in the 80s. Yeah. You got this chick who's doing Reddit
Queen Latifah.
postings.
Queen Latifah, I believe, is the new.
Queen Latifah is
and then we have Denzel. Denzel Washington
did the 2 movies.
Movies are fantastic.
Really? I just recently watched the second one.
He did 3 movies, didn't he?
I only know of 2.
I only know the 2. I don't know if he did a third one or not.
One.
Let me see.
It was the.
So we are going to.
I think the last one was the one with the mafia, wasn't it?
It came out there's a third one. It came out.
The third one is the one in because he's in Italy.
Yep.
And because the second one was his team leader, or he was team leader to this guy who was played by Pedro Pascal, who also played the Mandalorian. They killed his friend, the woman who was I think she was part of the CIA. I'm sorry?
I said, that's on Peacock.
What is the third
movie.
one?
The first one is.
I need to see the third. I didn't even know there was a third one. Now I'm psyched.
The third one.
The second one was brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a third one.
Yeah, they killed his friend, and then
third one is on Netflix.
What's that? The third one came out in 2023.
The third one, he actually works with the girl who is the daughter of the woman who was killed from the second one. And she is part of a CIA.
Is that Chloe Grace Moretz who plays her then? I'm assuming.
Oh, is that? Dakota Fanning? Or is that the Dakota Fanning one? No.
Chloe Grace Moretz is in Equalizer 3. And
Bill Pullman.
Oh no, she was in the first one. She was in the first one.
She was in the first one.
Yeah.
She was the prostitute. That's right.
The prostitute, right.
The third one, I'm not looking at that one.
I'm looking at the third one, and it has Dakota Fanning.
The second one I like is because when he goes to go visit his friend Dave at his house, the other guys are there, and he goes, well, you made a mistake. You killed my friend. And the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kill each and every one of you. And the only regret I have is I can only do it once. And that reminds me of Gretchen. That's like, I had told Gil, I told Gilbert about, I said, Gretchen is like, Andy Garcia in Ocean's 11. he'll kill you, and then he'll go to work on you. Like going, don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Because Gretchen is scary. For anybody in the chat that doesn't know, Gretchen is scary.
I'm gonna scare people away from my OnlyFans account.
Yeah, the Ed Woodward ones were very, very good. I remember watching that. Oh my God, when was that? 85? I think I was working at East Orange Police at that time. 80, yeah. I think 80.
Jack's Law and YouTube comments. I had to look that up. I thought I'd heard of Severance before. I didn't know where I'd heard it, but my friend just put me on her family plan for Apple Plus, and I was looking at it the other day, like, this looks interesting. I might watch this.
Yeah, it's an interesting show.
I'll have to check that one out, Jax. Thank you for pointing that out. I was wondering if anyone had seen it. I'd never heard of it before. Of course, a lot of Apple TV stuff is like, what is this? Like, I don't know any of these shows.
Yeah.
What about the movie that's on there with the he was one of the kids from like Hunger Games, and he's like across it's called The Gorge, I think.
Oh, The Gorge. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see that one.
I'm wondering if anyone's seen it and if it's good. Don't tell me. I mean, I know the basic premise, but I mean, don't spoil it. I just want to know if it's good. We're sitting down. I'm a little trepidatious because I'm not a big horror movie fan, but it seems to me like on the synopsis, it's more sci-fi-ish than it is.
I might check it out.
Outright horror movie.
I might check it out just in case if it has like a bit of horror in it. You know.
Max has a movie called Elevation with Anthony Mackie, which I thought was very interesting.
I don't have HBO Max.
Yeah, it has a
or Max or whatever.
It's kind of like The Gorge almost.
Yeah, see, Wikipedia lists The Gorge as an American science fiction romantic action film.
Okay.
It does not sound like horror to me. I mean, and when I say I don't like horror, I'm talking like It or The Tooth Fairy or something. Movies that are honest to God horror movies.
The Exorcist.
Right. Oh my God, that's one I've seen, and that one still gives me nightmares. Between that and The Shining, they both turned me off of horror movies for the rest of my life.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The original Amityville Horror, not all the remakes, just the original one.
The original one. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one can be kind of scary, but it got so Freddy got so campy throughout the rest of the movies. He wasn't scary anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The first one.
I found my copy and I showed it to Gil, and he goes, "Oh my God, I found my copy." Oh
wow.
And again, that is the only movie that has ever really scared me when I was a kid. That was the only one, because
Freddy was scary in that movie.
Yeah, well, see, not only that, here's the thing. When I was a kid, I knew I may not have been able to go fast, but I knew I could outrun anything else. But I cannot outrun Freddy because I had to sleep. So I knew that I could outrun any of them. Didn't matter.
I always sort of thought that too about Jason. Like, you can't really get away from him, but like, bruh, I owned and operated my own landscaping construction company for 3 seasons. You want to go to battle with fucking garden tools? Let's go. Let's go.
I used to do that when I lived in Parsippany.
With my steel lawn trimmer.
I had a Jason, I had like a Jason mask, but it was actually hooked to my because I had like the gas weed whacker in my hand. I would always wear like the Jason mask.
There you go.
People just stayed away from me. I was like, good.
April, you are a stronger woman than me. I fall asleep to The Shining. I watched The Shining. I'm not going to sleep for 3 days. Jesus.
For the longest, I could only sleep to Saw.
The movie that scared the hell out of me as a kid, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, with Kim Darby. The ABC TV movie of the week.
Really?
They bought this house, her and her husband. I think her husband, I believe, was played by Jim Hutton. And they bought this house and she wanted to do like some remodeling of the house, but she inadvertently let these little creatures out. And the creatures would wreak havoc all over the place. It was but the creatures looked really weird, and when you're a kid, it was just.
Now that I see it now, Salem's Lot, the original, isn't so scary anymore. But I mean, that freaked me out as a kid, especially when the kid's friend is like floating outside the window, like. No,
Mason. Yeah, James Mason as Mr. Straker.
Yeah, and see, and Saw I don't really consider a horror movie. It's like slasher films are different than horror movies. Maybe a thriller slasher film, because it was more like puzzles and stuff. It's gory.
Yeah. Yes.
That.
Yeah.
But is it scary? I mean, is Jigsaw scary? Not really.
It's not. No, it's not.
I say like this. What is for me is scary is something that can actually happen. For me, that's an actual horror movie. That's an actual scary movie. It's something that could actually happen. Like I say, you get a movie like a serial killer movie. Yeah, that's going to scare me because that happens. But you get something like, say, Jason, or you get, Hellraiser, like one of the, like Pinhead, one of the other, whatever. What do they call them?
Hellraiser.
Yeah, but the actual like the demons themselves, like Pinhead and the other ones.
Oh, I don't know what the other ones are. Yeah, I've never seen any of the Hellraiser.
Well, it's the Hellraiser movies. The demons for me would be like the entity with I think we had touched on this once before.
Cenobites is the word.
Cenobites, that's it.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, that's it.
Cenobites.
Yeah, Cenobites.
Yeah, now that's horror. For me, that's horror.
Chatterer.
Yeah.
But see, the difference is like I like, what was the last one? The last horror movie I watched was Cabin in the Woods. Is that the
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Monsters locked in the cages and stuff down there. And I watched that at my friend's house, one of my girlfriend's houses in broad daylight, and I was still kind of like, but it wasn't as scary. Versus, say, I saw a 10-second clip of one of the It movies, the remakes. I don't know which part of this kid sitting in the library, and in the background is this librarian, like way in the back of the room.
Oh, the red balloon.
Yeah.
She's got this creepy grin on her face, and she's just staring at that 10 seconds. I had nightmares for a week. I was like, no. It's not about what can or can't happen. It's like, The Grudge. When me and my ex-wife saw that in the theater, I couldn't go in my basement for a month.
No, The Grudge is good. I really like The Grudge. I'm not gonna lie. I like The Grudge.
Twitchy, creepy people. Funny story though. I wasn't there for this thing. In the house that me and my ex built, it has a loft over the living room, and the stairs that go up, spindles, and the railing spindles, right? My daughter with autism is nonverbal, and in her earlier years, like between 5 and 8, she used to just make some guttural sounds. You remember that noise that the little kid in The Grudge made? That kind of like,
yeah.
I can't do it deep enough, but I mean, you know what I'm talking about? So
I know what you're talking about.
My ex calls me in the middle of the night one time, freaking out, because she wakes up, she hears noises in the house. We were already divorced. I'd moved out, been gone a long time. She walks out into the living room, and our daughter is at the top of the stairs holding the spindles, making that noise, having no idea what it even means. Just awake, she'd never seen the movie, and just the way.
It's just one of those noises that kids make.
Story gave me nightmares.
Just one of those kid noises. Just didn't realize that.
Wow.
That kid noise scared the shit out of you.
This is why, I mean, I know a lot of us are practical and don't believe in supernatural stuff. I don't necessarily believe, but I also don't necessarily not believe. There are strange things that have happened and still happen in my life. And there are days I will get up in the middle of the night if things are not feeling right. And I will annoy my neighbors by walking around my house, banging on a pan with a wooden spoon, screaming, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!" I'm not above that. I'm not above it. I mean, it's not hurting anybody except maybe my neighbors. Fuck them.
Your neighbor's probably thinking, it's like, oh my gosh, he goes again beating the goddamn pan.
Beating the goddamn pan again. I've made TikTok videos of me beating on a pan, exercising.
I was talking to David Ayers the other day because I had to help him with some computer stuff, and he said, I said to him, I said, well, so how do you get along with all your neighbors? And he goes, well, I got this really crazy lady from the HOA always coming over and blah, 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 and telling me I can't do this, that. I said, you're a special effects makeup artist. Can't you get one of your, I said, can't you break out that ant from Empire of the Ants, that real big one that you made, and just put it on the lawn and then kind of put some motors in it? He goes, yeah, that would really freak her out. I was like, there you go, problem solved.
Right? Well, we talked about that. We talked about that once on Model Citizen, the FX movie from the 80s with Brian Dennehy and Brian Brown in it, and how he had that like giant monster that when you walked in his front door, it would like spring load off the wall and go.
The vermin from Venus, yeah.
Yeah.
The vermin's from Venus.
Wow, there's a lot of guys in that movie that passed away. I mean, Brian Dennehy's moved on. Jerry Orbach has moved on. I didn't know. I forgot he was even in it. Mason Adams. Wow.
Mason Adams, yeah. Mason Adams.
I just got 3 more kill to death ratio right to my kill to death ratio. I'm not even on the show that I do it on. 3 bonus no scopes.
Right such as out of nowhere.
I love it. That's great.
I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook, and he got I said he said, so how many times have you been right? Like if you ever had an argument with your wife, and I was like, well, not a lot. I said, so what do you do when like you're right? And he goes, I go outside of the house.
See it in college football a lot too. Like, I mean, as an Ohioan with the Buckeyes, they have like the Buckeye stickers all over the back of their helmets to denote their accomplishments. I don't know what that means. I mean, me run fast, catch ball. I mean, okay.
Well, in G.I. Joe, in G.I. Joe, and some of their plane vehicles, they would have like stickers of Cobra. Like Cobra ones, of like 5 or 6 of them, where denoting that how many planes that they've shot down. So
that was the whole plot, a subplot in the multi-episode Pegasus on the Battlestar Galactica remake of 2020 or 2004, when the Pegasus arrived, and then they're like kind of merging the crews, and the one guy's talking to Apollo. He's like, "I see you don't track your kills." Where they've got the little stickers of the Cylon Raiders all down the side of their planes. So I mean, it's not unheard of. I mean, it's something that people do, and there's douchebag men out there that just use a knife and scratch notches in their bedpost.
It's
Just so you know, guys, when you're doing it with yourself, it doesn't count. Where's another one? No, sorry, brah. Sorry, that doesn't count.
No.
I don't care if you hit your own chin with it. It doesn't count.
Well, shooting blanks.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
And Ginge has entered the chat. Ginge has entered the chat. Yes. We're on TikTok. Yeah, Ginge is in the chat. Yep.
I haven't even looked in the TikTok chat. Wow, I'm failing here. I'm everywhere else. Like, I can only keep up with so many chats. My ADHD is going crazy right now. The thing that's got me going is that somebody posted on Facelands 2 going on TikTok right now, but nobody will say who it's about.
Oh, well, damn.
It's driving me crazy that, like, I don't know. Not that, I mean, I'm not getting into that drama. I don't care, but it's like, don't say something's going on, and then when someone says, oh, who is it or what is it, and don't answer them. That drives me crazy. I don't care what it's about.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, did you see this? It's crazy. What? Yeah.
Well, you got to tell me something. Tell me something.
That's like it's almost like I was watching John Oliver last week. We were watching John Oliver, and he was like, they had an interview with Christy Nome on one of the news shows. I forget what it was, but going back and forth, and she wasn't making any sense. And then John Oliver said, I don't think that she killed her dog. I think she just talked to her dog, and her and her dog's head just exploded from the nonsense that was coming out of her mouth. I was like,
what I imagine is that old lady in the movie Airplane when Ted was trying to tell her his life story or his romance with Elaine, and she starts throwing up. and then she starts sitting in the chair,
and you get the noose, and she gets the noose, and she's hung herself.
Oh, I mean, and that was a running gag in both those movies. Wasn't there one dude that shot himself in the mouth over it?
Yeah.
Anytime Ted tried to tell the story of his love,
every time he started talking about Elaine, then the person, whoever he was talking to, they would commit suicide. Because that was the only way that they get out the conversation.
Barbara Cleaver. Yeah, but speaking jive on there. Those were great movies. I still even know William Shatner, which again, thank you, Jay Thomas, for that.
Thank you for that. Yes,
that will never go away now.
I think but that's going to be what we call him from now on. Officially, on the rules and requisition, he is now William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Why is it Shatner? What happened?
Because he's a curmudgeon and he's kind of a conservative-leaning douchebag these days. He rode Jeff Bezos' penis into space. I mean, his rocket ship into space, and
you were right the first try.
So no,
look at the shape of it.
He rode right into balls. He rode right into balls.
So on Nerds Today, we brought it up and said what it reminded me of is that scene at the end of I think it's Civil War, MCU's Civil War, when Rhodey's learning to walk again with prosthesis, and suddenly shows up in his cameo.
That Tony Stank?
And Rhodey's like, yes,
this is Tony Stank.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Oh no, this is happening.
It's happening.
So yes,
he's like, that's never going away.
That's never going away.
Even Tony had to laugh at it because he knew.
So
William Shatner, but
So Bezos made William giant blue balls then because it is Blue Origin, isn't it?
I believe is that what his called?
I think so.
Blue Origin.
All of these douchebag billionaires have some kind of space company. Because you've got Elon with SpaceX, you've got Bezos with Blue Origins. What's the other one? He wasn't so douchey, but he's still
Richard Branson.
Yeah,
with
what was his?
Oh gosh, it wasn't. No, it was something. Not Virgin Mobile, but it was like something else, kind of related to that mobile type of name. Hang on.
Virgin Group in 1970 is what it was. Virgin Galactic.
Virgin Galactic.
Galactic. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
he was one of the shuttle pilots in Superman Returns in the shuttle. He played one of the shuttle pilots in Superman Returns.
I did not know.
And the shuttle did not like when it when
he had to he had to disconnect the jet from the
disconnect the jet from the shuttle. Yeah, he was one of them. It was like, yeah, that would be kind of like what would happen to Elon Musk's thing. Oh, something we have to talk about on the help desk. I found out we can hack Starlink with a $20 Raspberry Pi board.
$20 Raspberry Pi board, hot.
And ladies and gentlemen watching the show, we absolutely do not recommend that you do this.
We do not, but
no, it's for educational purposes only.
Educational purposes only. Just like there is
That's
a
our
new
disclaimer.
DEI, a new government-sponsored
Yes.
DEI tip line. If you think DEI is being performed or services are being used in certain places they shouldn't be, you can call and report them. We do not recommend you blowing this number up and leaving false reports. We do not do that. We strongly against that.
Said no.
for educational purposes.
It's for educational purposes only.
Yes. Yeah. Do not go to DEIwatchlist.com and make false reports.
No.
Do not do that.
Do not do that at all. At all.
Yeah, that's horrible. Again, the website is not.
That's bad. Okay.
And
It's
I
not.
dare you to go to Transgression's. No, sorry.
And again,
What?
do not go to my OnlyFans of my same name.
Do not go
and
there.
Sign up for my $99 a week
Don't do that.
subscription, where
Said do that.
I would probably just insult you in nasty emails anyway. So don't do that.
And especially, do not go to the Rules of Requisition YouTube and subscribe. Don't do that. Don't do that. And especially
go
don't.
there and, like,
And especially don't go to the Rules and Requisition Patreon. And
I don't know if this reverse psychology is working. But,
hey, we'll try anything once.
say we're trying everything and
100
anything.
times,
We're trying reverse psychology, regular psychology, sideways psychology.
like think of it this way: don't go to my OnlyFans where there may or probably won't be nude pictures of me, but you could always sign up and find out.
It's like my mom said, you never know unless you try. I
You
mean,
never know unless you try.
or those.
got to agree to the terms and conditions at OnlyFans anyway. So hey, it's not
Yeah,
my
yeah.
fault if you get.
And or
admit
you,
they're angry, but hey,
but I say
Some may or probably not, but hey.
I mean,
it could be, but
or those
I doubt
pictures
it.
that you're looking for could be on Patreon, or they
we
could
set
be.
up, a cameo type, thing where you can have all the villains on,
we could
like
set it
to wish you
up.
happy.
Oh, you
birthday.
can set it up. Oh, you can set it up.
We should do that. I think we could do that. I mean, the Villains View doesn't have its own Patreon yet, though. But that would come. Anything like that would go straight to our bank account. Now that we're a legitimate business, we would just.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
just
including
goes straight
swear
to
jar.
The swear jar is already connected to the bank account. We got
Swear jar is
$32
there.
in the bank account now, and 90% of that is thanks to Thomas.
I thought it was $32 a minute. Kind of like a like a phone thing.
We're just trying to.
My
be
sales.
I've already planned on peak trans this week. My rant. I'm going to drop one, so I might even just drop $1 into the swear jar preemptively because I know it's coming. and I'm 5
Do you
days
know
out
that you're
from
going to curse on your show? Should you?
So you sure you should just make it one?
$500 in or something like that, and then if you go over that limit, you have to add more. Like I'm on the Villain's View. Like if I came onto the Villain's View,
If I did that, then I would never keep track.
Well,
Y'all
the thing
would-
is, somebody.
have to keep
Well, we could
track
do it like
for
this.
me.
You can do it on a per violation basis, which is $1 per violation. Or if you think you just can't control yourself, maybe we could start a monthly package.
oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
For $39.95.
So for
For $39.95 a month, you can drop
$39.95, you
unlimited
can
F-bombs.
drop
That's better prices than AT&T. Come on.
yeah. For $10 a month, you can drop 5
$10
F bombs a
month,
day.
Carpet bomb.
You got 5 F-bombs a day. That's it.
We should do it. We should do it like the old
For
AOL
$10
model.
a
Like
month, you can carpet bomb.
Oh,
What
there
did
it
you
is.
get kicked off for?
There it is.
TikTok
What
just
did
went
we
down.
get kicked off for?
We got kicked off. What did we get kicked off for?
What did it say?
For hate speech?
Sexual activity.
Sexual activity.
Sexual activity and services. That's what we got kicked off for.
Was it the carpet bomb? It was like the carpet bomb comment?
We said carpet bomb, not carpet munch. Come on.
No.
It may have been the
God.
OnlyFans comment. Maybe it was the OnlyFans comment.
Maybe it could have been.
Maybe the OnlyFans to the carpet thing. And
Well, and that is such an ambiguous thing too, because when Tara was on the show earlier tonight, she mentioned that what she once got a sexual violation on TikTok for nudity when she was fully clothed in a video. Just like I got banned off a live once for being live with my ex-wife, and we were arguing hairstyles, like on your head, like ponytails and buns and stuff. And I got banned for sexually adult content. Like
it was the buns comment. That's what it is. Because buns could mean hair buns, or it could mean a bun that you can eat, like a cinnamon bun, or it could mean
a drunk picture.
Yeah.
At least it's the GCPR account, which is the smaller one. I mean, Thomas still has his, so when he's back on his show on Sound of Coffee, he's
so. Needless to say,
we banned for 5 days, 10 days, 15 days.
I don't know. Needless to say, we'll probably be using the Villains Guild one.
Yeah, that's why we have backup.
Yeah.
That's why we have backups, because you can't get rid of us. But I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I like to believe that broadcasting on TikTok, on this show, any show after 9 p.m. is a privilege.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold myself back for the sake of TikTok. And okay, let's talk about that for a minute. You know, as we're coming up on the end. What is up with the TikTok? Did the government just forget all of a sudden that it's banned? Because like nobody's talking about it. It's just not a big deal anymore?
Apparently not
anymore, because we are in an autocracy. So there is no more, there is no more democracy.
Yeah.
So authoritarian leaders love TikTok. We love it now.
Oh yeah, because TikTok got them elected.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're realizing that it's a valuable platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's a valuable platform for the dissemination of
misinformation.
They can push one side of the narrative.
That's right. There you go. And since we're going to hand America over to Putin anyway, maybe we should hand our information over to the Chinese.
I mean, they already got it.
Oh, well, okay. Sorry.
They already got it. They got it way back in Facebook. I mean, it was the Analytica, the big
Cambridge
breach.
Analytica.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cambridge Analytica. That big breach there. Remember the big breach of info from Equifax?
Oh.
That was a lot bigger than people like to pay attention to. It's huge. The United Healthcare hack.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
But then again, it does remind me of those guys before I transitioned. I used to run with a group of people, these like end of the world people, like they're waiting for governments to crash so they can grab their guns and their go bags and run to the woods and live Lord of the Flies. And it's just like, they're like, I'm never going to register my guns. I don't want to be on a list. Like, motherfucker, you're posting that on Facebook.
It's like,
you are a living oxymoron. You are a walking oxymoron.
Or just a living moron.
That too.
Yeah.
Oh, both.
And if you want me to get nerdy
my
about
God.
it, scown. You're a scown. Yeah, that's right. I just spoke to you in Navi. I just called you a moron in Navi. Lightsaber movie number 77,421.
So I have scoured the internet for transgression about the model of the car, and I cannot find it. They do make a die-cast version of it, 112 scale or 118 scale, but those are few and far between, and I cannot. Every place I've checked is sold out, on it. So, but that die-cast now is probably going to be like $500 for that.
The 1/18 scale that's like lighted and all that shit.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yep. They do not make a plastic model of it though. So I'd have to find a plastic model that would possibly come close, and then try to alter it. If I alter it and I give it to James, he can 3D scan it, and then we can make it as big as we want.
I used to collect 1/18 scale when I was into NASCAR. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. But way back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, I was into NASCAR for a few years. I used to collect a lot of 1/18 scales. In fact, you can't see it because I've got a digital background. I got my autographed Tony Stewart Home Depot Chevy sitting on a shelf behind me, and I got rid of most of that stuff. I gave it away to other people. Like, I only kept a few that are like super valuable. But I always thought, like, why am I collecting NASCARs when I need to be like, I need a shelf that's got 1/18 scale versions of the Back to the Future DeLorean, the 1966 Batmobile, Ecto 1, the car, the van from A-Team, Starsky and Hutch's car. As much as I hate it now,
the Ford Torino.
Yeah, the Ford Torino.
The Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger.
Yeah, I'd probably pass on the General Lee at this point, just because. Yeah, I like the show as a kid, but I'm also educated now and I understand certain things.
The model and make, not the actual car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, 1969 Dodge Charger is one of my favorite cars of all time, especially with the 426 Hemi in it. But I would get one and paint it black and put a trans
the one
flag
from Blade.
on top.
Yeah, the one from Blade.
Yep,
the Charger from Blade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had found the sword for for Gilbert, because he was looking for the sword for Blade, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm looking around, and I was like, oh, found one on Amazon, but the handle is made out of wood. I was like, really? You got to be kidding me! I mean, the sword is made, I believe, out of 420cc stainless steel, but the handle is made out of wood. I would probably have to take the handle off. I said to him, it doesn't have the booby trap in it. And he goes, I want the handle with the booby trap. Where it like opens up, it springs out, and it takes your hand off. I'm like, well,
your hand explodes.
Your hand explodes.
Yeah, that would not. That mechanism, it could not have been wood. I mean, like with your traditional like Japanese katana or something like that. I mean, yeah, there's still like a bamboo or a wooden hilt. But the sword blade is also full tang, which means it goes all the way down through the center of the hilt itself.
Yeah, it goes all the way down to the pommel, yeah.
Right, so there's no way I think that blade sword could be. It has a mechanism in it.
Yeah. I mean,
obviously, it's reading handprints or fingerprints or something to know when it's not him holding it.
That's true.
I mean, it's got to know, it's got to have some kind of mechanism to know that, unless it's magic, but they certainly never indicated that magic was something in Blade's universe, despite the fact that you have corpses walking around drinking people's blood. But that's a whole different kind of magic, I guess. That's believable, but not a sword that just magically knows who's holding it.
Well, maybe they know. Well, maybe the sword. Well, wait a minute. He's a daywalker, so would he have a pulse? Because the undead.
I don't know. Does Blade have a pulse? I don't know much about Blade other than the Wesley Snipes movies, and the fantastic cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Unless he just activates the handle when he knows that the sword is going to be out of his hands. I don't know.
It could be one of those fingerprint ones.
Yeah.
According to Google AI, Blade does not have a pulse.
Okay. So it's not activated by.
He's just a day.
Yeah.
Find out.
Which makes him immune to some of the effects.
So we were talking was it? So you guys are talking Voltron, huh? Not the cars, the lions.
Yeah, we brought it up on Rules today also because Henry Cavill's starring in the live action, which is currently in production right now.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's starring in a lot of stuff. He's doing he's doing Warhammer 40K series for Prime.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing Connor McLeod for Highlander.
He's all over nerddom right now.
Yeah,
he is like a nerd.
He is everywhere. he is literally everywhere.
People are fan casting him as Lion-O in the upcoming Thundercats live action.
Mm-hmm.
The other rumor I heard, which again, this was clickbait on Facebook, and I don't believe it right now, but they were saying like he was going to come back and play Cavalrine in the upcoming MCU movie World War Hulk. But I can find no information on that movie even in progress right now.
Okay.
I mean, they're really focused on Secret Wars and the upcoming movie. Fantastic Four is coming out soon.
Yeah, Fantastic Four looks very interesting. It is a period piece, so
yeah, it's going back to the 60s or 70s.
Going back to the 60s, yeah. We are 7 minutes from 11 o'clock, so I guess
we are 7 minutes from 11 o'clock. I mean, we can go around the board and do final thoughts. We've kind of been all over today. This has been a potpourri episode of The Villain's View. We've talked socio-political stuff. We've talked trans issues. We've talked women's issues. Black Lives Matter, all that kind of sort of stuff. Movies,
yeah.
Horror movies, real life horror stories. But anyway, we'll go ahead and start with you, George, since you're our special extra guest. Extra special guest.
Since you're the bonus.
Something like that. You're the bonus special guest.
You're the bonus guest. You're the bonus guest.
You were the next contestant, and you won the game of Plinko. You don't win any prizes other than a guest appearance here. Do you have any final thoughts tonight?
Do I have any final thoughts? Oh my God, not really. Sunday, I'm tired. I have no final thoughts. I'm so sorry.
I know, I'm leaning into the work week. Gambit, how you feeling? What's the final thought on your mind tonight?
Final thoughts implies having primary or first. I'm sorry.
He said primary and firstendary.
I don't have any firstendary thoughts right now. Well, then I'm going to use that excuse too because I don't think any of us have firstendary thoughts.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm kind of at a loss for words at this point.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. Yeah, we're a month and a half into this hellstorm right now. So
hell keeps freezing over. Stop it.
I know it keeps freezing over. What's on your mind, Gilbert?
Well, my firstendary thought is
You're never forgetting that.
Is that never going to forget that. Never going to forget that. It's all recorded on posterity now, so firstendary.
Going right into the record book with William Shatner and Tony Stink.
This has been a great day. This has been a surprisingly, sneakily kind of great day, I hope everybody enjoyed this ride on the ADHD train that you were on. You just all got it.
Sorry.
So you just all got a ticket and we got banned on TikTok for a week. So first ban of the 2025.
Nice.
It was surprising.
My rotation.
It took
my win right there.
The year without getting.
And it only
My
took
rotation. That's my win right there.
it only took 2 months for it to happen.
It was a knife-handled live stream. Sure.
Japanese bullet train to the 5th level of hell.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Hope Thomas is proud. Get better, Thomas. I hope everybody enjoyed this ride on the ADHD train that you bought a ticket on. I've been one of your 4 conductors.
Not that you ever had a choice to get on the train, even though we stopped to pick you up, backed up a bit because we weren't sure, pulled up again, pulled forward, backed up. It took us a minute.
It's like you sure you want to get on? Anyway, so that's my final thought.
Sure want to ride this train?
I don't have anything deep or thoughtful tonight. No first and dairy thoughts for me. So, obviously we want Thomas to get better. And this was, again, our potpourri episode brought to you by ADHD, THC, a little caffeine. Yes, I agree with Gilbert. It was a good day. I think that Rules and Inquisition was a pretty good show, despite ADHD reigning supreme on that one as well.
True.
We got through a lot of topics and had some fun there. And we've got some good stuff coming up this week. So stay tuned on GCPR for Conversations with T. Nathan. I bet he's more serious than we are. Coming up at 11 p.m.
Pretty much
Again,
gotta be.
Not sure if Thomas will be hosting Sound of Coffee in the morning or not. That's still kind of up in the air. Though if he is not, there is workings to get a guest host on. So
I'm sure we can all, get into Sound of Coffee tomorrow.
I would offer to do it, but I start work at 7:30.
No.
Well, see, let's be honest.
My boss would call me.
Ain't nobody tuning to Sound of Coffee to see our asses.
Yes,
they're going to see Thomas. They ain't going to see us.
Oh no!
I have a face for radio.
Oh, I saw that tonight. Our viewership was nowhere near as high.
Yes,
as typical with Thomas here. So we all know you guys love him. We know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we go to our little shows over there that you don't watch either. And we talk to ourselves and we like to think that we're important. So don't go watch Peak Trans 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays on GCPR and Peak Trans Radio. Don't watch The Rules and Inquisition Sundays at 3 p.m. on GCPR and Coast Gold Productions Radio. Don't watch The Help Desk. Don't watch Model Citizen. But
don't, whatever you do not go to Transgressions OnlyFans.
Do not go there.
Do
not go
there.
My $99 a week show or program.
Do not sign up for the $99 a week program.
Sign up for the $199 a week program.
Curious.
There you go. That's the one you sign up for.
I mean, Sound of Coffee, it's in the hundreds of views. Raoul's High Exalted. You've had 2 frickin' episodes. You're in the hundreds of views.
Well, see, everybody loves to get high.
Thomas, nobody loves. It's all nobody. It should be
Everybody.
Thomas Bishop Productions Radio.
Everybody loves to get high.
We love you, Thomas. Though we hope you get better. This has been The Villain's View. I'm Gretchen. Everybody else. Everybody say goodbye. We're done. We've done enough.